Sleepers Podcast returns to your ears right now. It's Monday, July 1st. Happy 4th of July week, Cart. May I say you look great?
Do we really want to start off the month of July with lies? Do I actually look great?
You look better than I thought you would be after 3 nights in Baltimore with you.
Yeah. Once again, I do need to realize that though I love my friend group, it's a great group. Even with the weaknesses that they have, us having, the space and opportunity to have a good time can sometimes be dangerous for multiple days in a row.
It was good. It was a good reminder to me that you and I are actually friends. Every now and then it's good to just get out and be friends with each other and not just full-blown sleepers at all times. So
Yes.
That was enjoyable. Enjoyed that. Got to ride a lot of ferries this weekend. Got to drink a lot of Baltimore-based drinks. They tell me that crushes are the big thing in Baltimore. Crushes didn't really show me, but all in all, it was a really good trip. Camden Yards is sick. Shout out to Terrence James, TJ, and Queen V, Vanessa, for hosting us. And I think the 6 of us had a really fun time.
100%. Definitely want to go back to Camden. If I don't know, when the Tigers play out there ever again, but would definitely make a trip and actually hit Camden multiple days in a row.
Yeah, it was a very full weekend. We golfed 18 holes and then went to a baseball game, and I Instagrammed 3 times from the Sleepers account. That's rare. So all in all, would you call it a success?
I'd probably rate it an 8.7 out of 10.
What was more successful, our NBA Draft-a-Palooza live show or this trip to Baltimore?
Draft-a-Palooza.
Those off the heels of each other were kind of crazy, though.
Yeah, it was, but also respectfully, yeah, it was.
Do you think that's a 10 out of 10 or?
Yeah, maybe 11.
I would say 9.8 on the Draft-a-Palooza.
Why only 0.8?
Well, a couple internet issues with the Fears family. Outside of that, yeah, not much to complain about. Good show.
Hey, I'll take that with us.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who watched that. We did take a couple days off. If you're a regular listener of the show, you know this. We were off from the pod on Thursday and Friday. Some housekeeping here, if I could, as we start the month of July. You'll notice a few things. Number one, we're not sponsored by anybody right now. That stinks, but is what it is. We do not have a presenting sponsor on the show for the month of July. We do anticipate that's going to change as college football season gets here. Many of the sponsors we have worked with, we still are on very good terms with, told us they're very happy with us. But I think just the way this works, sometimes there isn't the same amount of money to spend in the summer months as there would be during college sports season for a college sports podcast. With that said, if you're a listener to this and you want to be the presenting sponsor of the Sleepers Media video channel, which has done 700,000 views 4 consecutive months, 3 of those months coming this off season, the number to beat is $0 right now. So our lines are open if you want to do that. Also, on that note, this month, we are going to be covering some NBA stuff, as you'll see in today's full episode. We do want to get our post-NBA draft thoughts out here now that the live show has wrapped up. We've had a couple days to think about it. We are also going to be covering EYBL stuff, Peach Jam. There will certainly be some Summer League content. These are the summer months, but there's going to be no shortage of Sleepers content. We're still going to have all of your short videos in the afternoon at the same rate that we've been having them through the transfer portal period. We will still have full episodes Monday through Friday, and we're just going to keep this train rolling. Car, any thoughts, any comments to add to what I just said?
I think the only thing I would add on here is that I think if you ask any of our sponsors who have been a part of this show, they've been extremely happy with how it's played out and how it's operated. I would say we haven't missed so far in the promotion of whoever sponsors our show. So I think the proof's in the pudding with that, and the views speak for themselves. The reach is there.
Yeah, we're doing very, very large numbers of views on the channel overall on in months of the year where there aren't basketball games being played. That's a good sign for the growth of this channel. and maybe a little growing pain that you don't see presented by anybody at the top of this channel. But hopefully that changes by August. I think that it will if all goes well. Fingers crossed. Also, what else did I have here? Oh, this week you are once again globetrotting. As if, and what did Jack say about the globetrot when I know a vaccine?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're West Coast bound this week.
I am. I'm going to visit the Hazard family.
Love the Hazards. Shout the Hazards. Yeah, y'all are special. That's what I want you to know. Because I need like a 2-month staycation after the Baltimore trip.
I'm not special. I am so traveled out. Traveling is exhausting.
My brother, I'm not 6 months pregnant, and I need to sleep for a couple weeks after this Baltimore trip. I can't imagine doing what y'all are doing this week. It's impressive stuff. Shout out to y'all. I hope you enjoy it. With that said, it is 4th of July week, and Cart will be out of pocket for the final 2 days of the week. So expect full Sleepers episodes with Carter and myself through Thursday this week. And I'm going to do my best to bring in a guest to still get you a Friday episode on the day that Carter is out of pocket, but I don't know how many short videos we'll be doing during the day on Thursday and Friday. Maybe we could pre-record some stuff, you and I, and maybe schedule them for those days, Cart.
I'd be down for a little pre-record. Are your 4th of July plans changing now that your family pool was snatched from underneath you without construction of any other family members?
I have had about 7 consecutive years of going to the one pool in the family, but my aunt and uncle sold their house that had the pool. It's a sad time for all involved. Emotional time. That family specifically, shout out to the Tafes, they're in Nashville for the week. I think they wanted to get out of the state knowing that they couldn't host the big 4th of July bash. So I believe they're having a great time in Nashville. That does leave the rest of us to scramble a little bit. Luckily, Cart, they say in Michigan, you're never more than an hour away from a lake. And I have multiple invites, not to brag, but I have multiple invites to get on a lake this weekend. I can't wait.
You know what? One day I'm gonna get the boat invite from Mr. Terrell because I know the Terrell family is gonna be absolutely special on a boat this 4th.
It could be a much higher chance of you getting that invite if you started pronouncing his last name correctly.
Is it Terrell?
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't Terrell sound kind of heat?
Doesn't sound like a Cotton Bowl participant.
Yeah, true. My apologies.
Did they win that game or lose that game? I think
they got smoked. I'm pretty sure.
Should we get to the comments?
Wait, actually, no, they didn't. Okay, let's move on.
Let's get to the comments. Do you have a YouTube comment of the weekend?
I do, and I screenshotted this one on Friday because it's one of the more wild comments I've ever seen. This came from No J Sip. Sleepers Media is most likely to A, be shipped off to Port-au-Prince, Haiti to become pizza pie flippers in their Little Italy district. B, become football helmet crash test dummies as a sideline carrying gig for Infale Dante's luggage on his road trips. C, end up in Shanghai as a sideline junior girls league basketball reporters while not knowing a lick of Mandarin. D, becoming masters hosting cornhole tournaments on ESPN 36 at 3 a.m.
I mean, D sounds plausible.
I mean, honestly, all of these sound very, except for I don't think I'd be a good pizza pie flipper.
It's harder than it looks.
You tried it?
Have I tried to flip a pizza before? Yeah.
When? Why?
Like the dough, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
kneading
you
it.
make like a homemade pizza. And you knead the dough and then you flip it. Yeah, I've done that.
You like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't know that was a thing. I thought that was like all for show.
No, well, it is a lot for show, but yeah, I don't know. You saw this weekend. Like I'm pretty good with my hands.
Okay. That juggling was special.
Juggling went crazy. It's very similar to the juggle, just with dough on top of your hands.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Crazy comment to start off. I like that energy this week. Do you think we're gonna be rusty this week, Cart?
Possibly, yes.
We're usually rusty when we take a couple days off, and yeah, I think we're working through that right now. Okay, to the Discord for the comments. Can you shout out the new person who joined the Discord this morning, by the way, please?
Of course I can, once I figure out who it is.
It'd be lovely if you could, because I think we have 107 comments to get through from over the weekend.
Oh my good word. Okay, let me go ahead and find out who this is, who joined. B Fulmer 223. Welcome to the Discord.
Shout out to B. Fulmer. Also, shout out to your voice, which seems to be on its very last legs.
Yeah, it is. It very much is.
You didn't yell a lot this weekend.
I think I did.
Did I miss that?
Yeah. You tune me out sometimes.
Hmm, I do that. Okay, to the comments. One sentence answer is implemented. We might need to go one word answer at some point in this. Malik Perry starts us off. I had to entertain some of these fighting oranges on Ty and Carr as soon as I ask what he does better, what I get. He's on a better team with elite players, top 5 offense in the country. He don't have to do as much, and he does the little things. That tells me he's only good when he's your fifth option. There was a bunch of Ty Rodgers Cohen Carr debate, which tells you all you need to know about our Discord at the end of June. Jack J7 says the Ty Rodgers disrespect is crazy. Of the players ranked on Tuesday's episode, he's at least top 15. There's reasons he's been a 2-year starter and will carve out a starting role in this year's upcoming team. Ty's experience and defensive ability alone puts him in the top 15. Your thoughts?
No, he's not a top 15 player in the Big Ten. Let's not do this.
Yeah, just because guys start does not mean they weren't liabilities most of the time they were on the floor. Like down the stretch of the season when Illinois was playing well, the conversation every game was how quickly can Brad Underwood put Luke Goody in for Ty so that it doesn't kill the entire offense.
Facts.
Let's see here. Moving on. Sleeve Nash says I had you guys ranked top 5 underrated. Now do top 5 overrated. Here's his list of the top 5 most overrated players in the Big Ten for next year. Number 1, Vlad Golden. Number 2, Ace Bailey. Number 3, Dawson Garcia. Number 4, TKR. Number 5, Omar Ballo. He spelled Umar wrong. I would like to go first on this. I don't know that we can call guys that are basically proven products overrated at this point. Like Vlad Golden and Dawson Garcia and Umar Ballo are what they are. If you want to say you don't buy into Ace Bailey or TKR, fine, but what the hell is overrated about a guy that averages a double-double?
Right. Yeah. I really don't have a full list that I can think of. Um, I I feel like it's very hard to call players overrated without seeing something. Honestly, the thing that shifts the narrative, like I don't want to call Ty Rodgers overrated, but if everyone's going to keep telling me he's a top 15 player in the Big Ten, then that's when the overrated stuff needs to start.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, you would think Illinois fans would be like comfortable saying Ty is like their 8th best player at this point. That
Yeah,
means you have 7 good players.
that'd be the best case scenario.
Yeah, I don't get it. Overrated, I don't really want to throw too much slander at anybody. We're trying to be nicer unless we really, really need to be mean. That's kind of been a conversation behind the scenes here. So I don't know. I just would say if you were going to pick out guys to do this for, I would lean more into the Ace Bailey TKR archetype of like guys who are not finished products in college.
Yeah, I was honestly thinking about throwing Max Klesmet out there.
I don't get that one. Let's move on. Malik says Big Back Carter is the only person who puts peanut butter on acai bowls. Please, this is something Greg could eat easy.
I love a little dash of peanut butter in my acai bowl, man. Sue me.
He then says, I would pay money to see Carter fight because he's so sure he wants to throw hands. Get the gloves.
I'm with that, whatever.
Purdue Fox says, how do you put on your socks? Do you do the kneel down like you are proposing, the sit on a step or bedside, or the heel toward your stomach? I went through 30 years of life, and the last few I've forgotten how I did it previously, and now it's always feeling awkward.
I'm usually like sit down in any form. So like sit down at the edge of the bed, sit down downstairs on the couch, throw my socks on. Um, I have been known to do stand up, put socks on, but if I had it my way, it's edge of the bed, socks on.
Mhm. This comment, insane comment. Just wanted, like, I forgot how I put socks on the first 30 years of my life. I can relate to it, but it's also confusing me. Yeah, I think you sit on something and you put your sock on.
Yeah. You go left or right first.
I don't think I have a preference. I think it's whatever I'm feeling that day.
Got you.
Yep. Do you have a preference?
Yeah. Left first always.
I don't think you're telling the truth. Jay Hart says, I've decided I need a nickname, but I cannot give it to myself. What would my nickname be?
Heart attack.
Um, See, I got to meet Jay Hart, so I feel like I owe him something here that's not just like acronym name based. I mean, he told me, I'll never forget. He told me from like 170 yards out in the fairway. I'm like, "You want a distance?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Why not?" He's like, "It's all feel." So like, there's got to be something nickname around like all feel,
Off feel.
but I don't know.
Dr. Feel.
Like just feels.
Feels. Kind
My
of like
boy,
that.
this is my boy feels.
I always picture Jay Hart to look like Dak Shepard.
It's honestly not that far off.
Really?
Fields says if you were in charge of running a really good program, but not big enough to just back the Brinks truck up and buy the best players, what would your strategy be?
Um, Probably doing something to downplay other schools. Like if I was a coach and I smelled the blood in the water, which is what is Duke right now with that whole flip drama, I would be burying them behind closed doors to recruits that are trying to go there.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I think it's hard. I don't think like for example, I don't think you could play the beeline game as much anymore of like I'm gonna find underrated guys and develop them because like let's say you're beeline and you have Karis LeVert as a freshman playing 8 minutes off the bench and he looks good, Kentucky would just take him. So I don't think you can do that anymore. I think you gotta like find funds somehow. I would advise you fundraise a little bit and maybe play the like down transfer game. Like get like a Mason Gillis type dude. But then you still gotta beat like Duke. But you know?
Yeah, I like that strategy.
B Butch says if you could replace any team in the Big Ten with someone else, what school would you add and who would you kick out? You cannot say one of the four new teams.
I want to add Texas. I want to kick out Penn State.
See, Penn State football, I love though.
Oh, true. It's back to
To me, it probably would be one of Maryland or Rutgers that I'm kicking out. I don't like playing the like anti new guy game, but
I'd kick out Maryland then because they got Kevin Willard.
or I mean it could be Northwestern. But I kind of like the charm of like little Northwestern.
Yeah, the little Wildcats that could.
Yeah, we could kick out Illinois just because they annoy me sometimes.
And Brett Bielema has you blocked on Twitter.
He does. I don't want to lose the rack, but also Maryland feels way too good to kick out. Ah, screw it. I'm kicking out Northwestern and I'm allowing in Notre Dame.
You are going to do whatever you can to get Notre Dame. You are so sick of them just doing this thing they got going on.
Notre Dame should be in the Big Ten. We all know it. We've all been saying it for years, and Notre Dame doesn't want to because they're Notre Dame. We get it, whatever. Just come home. Okay. Micah Shrewsbury belongs here. The football program has been ducking for a while now. Just come home. Maynard says, if the Villanova Knicks make the finals after adding Mikal Bridges, what does this say about how NBA teams have been building rosters and selecting players? None of these guys were particularly highly touted draft prospects outside of Bridges.
Oh, let's cross that Villanova bridge when we get there. Two, it won't matter because even if they do make it that far, I don't think they're going to get over the hump with friendship.
Yeah, I don't think it says much. The reigning NBA champs have two superstars they drafted third overall. Can we go through the previous champs the last 4 years? It's superstars.
Right.
The league will be won by superstars. So like
Get you one.
should superstars be taken first overall instead of 40th like Jokic? Yeah, probably. But like that's what this is. And is there a Jokic in this draft? Probably not. But if there is, it might be someone who dead ass was taken in the 30s and everybody looks stupid. That's just pure luck, though. Like the Nuggets didn't like. I mean, obviously they like their scouting department deserves a raise, but the Nuggets got lucky that Jokic became what Jokic became. You know,
Facts.
the Bucks got lucky that Giannis became that. Like sometimes you roll the dice and the dice turn up what you need. Andre L says, "What's a former college team besides Nova where three or more of the players reuniting in the NBA would have made a good NBA roster?" We did this as a segment, like maybe 2 months ago. I want to say,
Think so.
like early NBA playoffs time. It was really fun. It It was a really fun segment. Do you have an answer though?
Uh, Probably some combination of the Michigan State team with Redacted and Jaron. I don't know who would be the third though. Like, cause I want to say Cash, but like he's not even in the league, so it doesn't feel right saying that.
Yeah, it feels like whoever you choose has to have one legit star. Like you got to have the Brunson guy. I can't like sit here and be like Burke and Hardaway would have won playoff series. Like doesn't
Right.
work like that. Somebody's got to be Brunson.
Who would it be? Like, well, maybe some combination of that Duke team with Paulo.
To me, the obvious Duke team is Zion, RJ, Cam Reddish, and then
Cam
you
Reddish.
just say like maybe RJ helps Zion a little more than what he has become.
Yeah, I like that. Or honestly, my next team of I want to see is get that Gonzaga team back together. Like give me
Oh yeah.
Suggs, give me Chet, Kispert, uh, even all them dudes. Just get them all.
Yeah, that would be fun too. I could see it. Eric NJ Boiler says, actually, this was a response to Andre's comment. Here's some teams he could see being good in the NBA. Classic Wooden UCLA, the big three from Michigan's Fab Five, Syracuse with Sikali, I don't know who that is, Coleman and Douglas. Duke with Hurley, Grant Hill, and Leitner. UNC with Jordan, Worthy, and Daughtry, and then Phi Slamma-Jamma. All of these teams were teams before you and I were born.
Therefore, we do not acknowledge.
It's also not true. At least one of these was after our birth. But yeah, probably not great that we don't have an example in the last 35 years. No disrespect to Eric NJ Boiler, but those are better answers than our answer also. So
Yeah, let's not one sentence.
Fox and Monk would work.
Yeah,
Except that they're already on the same team and it's not working.
yeah.
They need Bam.
Ooh, that's it. That that would be the who you put together.
Didn't they have like a fun sixth man too, like Wenyen Gabriel?
I think it was Wendy Gabriel.
Let's move on. Malik Perry. I woke up today, got ready for work, and thought about privileged Gregory. McDonald's writing your order on the wrapping so you know which is yours. No matter what you have to open it to eat, plus each sandwich is a different wrapping. Gregory, does Dusty get a grace period if the team ain't good this year? Glad to see you're using your degree, but until the season start or we see actual game-like footage, everything isn't a problem. Malik, I would love to see your degree, your. I would love to see yours, your. I don't understand what the infatuation is from Malik and others, plural, in the Michigan State fan channel who respond to us when we make content or make comments about things that happen with Michigan State, and they just respond like, "Well, what's happening with Michigan? Nothing's happening with Michigan. That's why we're not talking about them. There's nothing to. I wish there was. That doesn't mean if they're like good or bad. There's nothing to talk about. I wish there was. Your team does shit, and there's things to talk about. So we talk about it. It's lame.
Also, if you're waking up on a Sunday and getting ready for work, lower your tone.
Crazy. Malik says, can the season start next month? Players are getting paid, make them play more games. We need videos of Carter doing some of this amazing things. He claims he can do 3.
We really got to get to the bottom of like what Malik is.
I feel like I'm speaking a language I don't know how to hear. Sleeve Nash says, found myself in a forest with a bear and Malik this morning. Took care of Malik handily. As I was walking away from the 5'2", 115-pound kid, I came across a bear. I ran toward a hill while the bear was chasing me, and when its back legs caught his front legs, it started rolling down the hill and he rolled over me. In the wheelchair for a couple weeks, but I could still take a 5'2" MSU fan in any sort of fight.
Should have listened to me about what you do when you're running from bears.
What do you think Malik's measurables are? 5'2", 115 seems light.
That's light. He's 6'2", but he's only 164. and his left leg is longer than his right one by like an inch, which kind of gives him a little bit of a limp.
Ethan says, I'm not certain a deep post would help in outrunning a crocodile. Could the crocodile not run straight, turn about 45 degrees, and then continue to run straight? I think a whip route may be more effective. What college basketball player would you gamble your child's future on escaping a crocodile?
Who's the fastest player in college basketball, right? Actually, I don't even know. I think Jordan Pope would get away from a crocodile.
Um, Cam Heidi comes to mind. I think it like if needed, if it didn't go well, Cam Heidi would like his chances with his bare fists.
Could see that.
Also, I'm not gambling my child's future on anyone escaping a crocodile. Sleeve Nash says, is there any player in college who has had a signature move that you guys can think of? In the NBA, there's a ton. Harden's step back, LeBron's weak ass move where he looks at the ball, Dirk's fade. I was wondering if any college basketball player in recent years comes to mind for a signature move. And don't say Braden Smith elbow Jimmy.
Elbow Jimmy was going to be one of the ones. Honestly, there's not many of those in college basketball, I feel like. One that immediately came to mind was Xavier Simpson doing that hook shot all the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's probably the shout I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good one. I hated watching it, but he was very good at it. Yeah, if we're just doing like gestures and not signature moves, I mean, like Iggy did this and tried to make that cool. It wasn't cool, but it was there. Jordan Poole loved to do the fake jab step thing. Like he would just like dramatically jab step and never go anywhere. I always loved that. Yeah, not great that the only answers we can come up with are three Michigan guys.
Yeah. We college basketball needs some juice, man.
I would say another one, Mo Wagner's behind the back was a thing. Like he was pulling that long before the Nick Ward moment happened,
Was
and
he
that
really?
that just became the one everybody remembered. Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Mo did that like probably 20 times his senior year or junior year, and it was always fun.
Good on him.
Yeah, interesting. Only Wolverines with signature moves, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Hmm. Is booty ball a signature move?
Is Aaron Henry like jump stop float with his right hand a signature move?
I don't think anybody other than Villanova can claim the jump stop as a signature move.
Respect.
But I do think like, yeah, I'll have to think about that a little more. It's a good question. B. Butch says, if we had a fight night with the main event being Carter versus Eric Ebron and the undercard being Malik versus Sleeve Nash, who wins and what are the betting odds?
Um, I mean, respectfully, it's probably going to be Eric Ebron minus like wow 150. There'd probably be some really good value on me at plus money though. I'll tell you that because I'm winning that fight. Malik would be like a plus 1,200 underdog against any other functioning human being.
Uh, Eric Ebron would be minus 2,000 against you.
You're so disrespectful.
Knockout would be minus 1,000.
That's also insane. It's disgusting.
He's an NFL player.
He was an NFL player.
You are you. Like, I don't know what we're doing here. Mono CBB says, I went on a date with the team photographer for Illinois last summer. No second date. And it got back to me that she thought I talked too much about my love for Brad Underwood. Did I dodge a bullet? Should I try to reconnect with her so I can get all the inside info for Illinois?
If she was annoyed with you about talking about what Brad did in Illinois' best season in a long, long time and making the second weekend, you dodged a bullet, my friend.
Yeah, that's a tough spot though. Like you can't, not to go like dating advice here, but I feel like if you are on a date and you discover something about like the person and whether you knew it or not coming in, if it's like some shit that you're like a big time fan of, you don't want to go fanboy mode because you want the girl wants you to be interested in her, not her resume, you know?
Yeah, that I guess that is kind of a little more little more layers to that than I originally thought.
It'd be fun to do like a Like what's the thing when people like send love questions in? Kind of want to do that for a week.
Honestly, we can.
Yeah. Okay, get ready for 6 straight Malik Perry comments. I think the sophomores need that second year leap that has happened last 2 years, but with all 4 of them, I too would like to see more MSU basketball footage so I can see how players are progressing. Yeah, Malik, but what about Michigan, Malik? Where's Michigan, Malik? Where are they? Malik? Where are they? I rewatched the sandbag video and I noticed Nick Sanders got some muscles. I guess he's in that place that Flinch don't go to. I think that means Fletch. Does ESPN have a package deal for just watching your team play? Because all these different sites and channels are just too much. Greg, why would I do something to you in the woods? I would be like, let's get out of here. He also spelled, why would I do something to you in the woods? Both of like wood and woods are correctly spelled. But then I would be like, let's get out of here is spelled like wood, like WOOD. He's so special. And the final one is Greg giving Brian Ralph a big slice of humble pie. I will defend Brian on Wale, but not bad mouthing Cal Ham go to Arkansas.
I can't do it today with him, man. I really can't.
I love Malik, but I also am so afraid of Malik, but I love Malik. Purdue Fox says, what block was bigger, Edey blocking Connect to go to a Final Four or Edey blocking Connect from going top 10 and staying in the state that loves him the most?
The tournament one.
Yeah, that's just a really good comment. If you haven't taken to Twitter with that yet, Purdue Fox, take to Twitter with that one. Boom Fizzle says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how enjoyable is it to watch Grizz/Vols fans completely melt down about Edey getting picked instead of Connect?
It wasn't enjoyable whatsoever. The post Edey draft discourse is infuriating
Why?
because like I'm watching everyone give the Pistons like an A- grade for drafting Ron Holland, but Zach Edey going 9th to play next to Jaren Jackson and all this talent is getting like think pieces and D grades and Kristen Peak, just going off. Like it's just I don't like it.
Yeah, we do have a conversation to have about that. We'll have it in a short form video that will come out tomorrow around lunchtime. But yeah, I agree. It's been messy. Same Old Lions has just wanted to hit you guys with some major glazing. This NBA Draft live show was absolutely electric, very well put together, and great guests. Legit didn't even have the draft on the side, and I didn't miss it.
Appreciate that. Shout out to you, Greg, for the being the idea, the driver behind that.
Means a lot. It was really fun. Thank you to everybody who watched. Travis Nelson says, I haven't been as active in the Discord as of late, but I listened to Thursday's pod and immediately heard a flurry of Malik comments. I'm glad to know nothing has changed.
One thing that's very constant about Discord is Malik's gonna Malik.
We let people be themselves, don't we, Cart?
We do, and do I regret it? I do a good amount of times, but also you just gotta let them rock.
Jack J7 says the Wolves won the draft, no doubt. Bold prediction. TSJ is starting by the playoffs. Side note, I need a Coleman Hawkins and Luke Goody episode like I need air to breathe. We are going to do NBA draft winners as a segment later this show, and we would love Coleman Hawkins and Luke Goody together on an episode one day. I do think they're both interested in that, so we'll hopefully keep that relationship going. I think we're done with interviews for a little bit, though. That's my current thing. Now that we got Braden, who I like really wanted, Zach Edey is like current. I will never say no. Like you call me right now and I'll do it. Everybody else, I want to take a little breather on for like a month on interviews, Car, as long as you're okay with that.
I'm more than okay with that.
Okay, let's see here. Brendan says top 3 winners of the draft, bottom 3 losers of the draft. Coming later this episode, Brendan. Shout out to you. Maynor says many people consider college basketball to be a dying sport. If you guys were to replace the NCAA, what are 5 changes you would make on and off the court to increase the popularity of the dying sport?
6 fouls, lower shot clock, advance the ball, no technical fouls after dunks, and if a game goes into 2 overtimes, it's sudden death.
I only have one answer that I think would help, and it's kind of already happening, but like I want some preseason tournaments with money on the line. Like, let's play for money. Let's do it. Like everybody, if you win this tournament and you're a college basketball player, you get $1 million check. I think that'd be great. And then two, I would, if I was actually like running the NCAA, I would certainly just put out a huge, massive push into the PR side of things to make you think everything's going great, even if it's not. Like I wouldn't be like making rule changes. I would just put massive marketing money into like everything's great here.
I love that way.
Yeah. Manor says if you take the final 4 games and the 2 lowest viewed Elite 8 games, they average 10.9 million viewers compared to the NBA Finals, 11.3 million viewers. NBA is clearly a dying sport, even though the narrative pushers don't want to acknowledge it. If you guys were to replace Adam Silver, the worst commissioner in sports, what 5 changes would you make on and off the court to make the sport more popular? I don't think that's a real comment. I think you're trying to do something here, Manor, and I like what you're doing, but I don't think we need to answer that question, Cart.
Or we will not be answering that.
Yeah, but I like what you're doing. Toon says, happy Riley Friday. Who is your way too early first overall pick for next year? And if it is Cooper Flagg, the more interesting question is who is number 2? Toon, I'm going to encourage you to copy paste that for this Friday's episode, which I hope will include Riley Davis, although knowing him, he'll probably be on some island, and Cart won't be here for it. So if you want a Carter answer and a Riley Davis episode, you might have to wait an extra week for that. Luckily, that question's about a full year from now, though. So it still applies to him. Great question. Huey24 says, in honor of the Pistons drafting Ron Holland, can we get a starting 5 of Big Ten players that are great individually but would fit terribly?
Great individually, but would fit terribly, like with the Pistons.
I'm going to read this more as like they're good players that have been in bad fits. And I'm going to say the one I've been screaming for 2 years. Jaden Akins has been misused the entire time he's been at Michigan State.
Are we? Well, we're actually gonna find out if he was. Still was. I probably say Akins too.
That's the only obvious one for me. But like coming up this year, Danny Wolf also going to be on that list, and I can promise you I'll be as loud about that as I have been about Akins.
I like that.
Let's see here. I did have to remind the people that we're not recording because this is when people were pumping in questions for the Riley Friday episode. Let's see. I think a lot of these comments slowed down after that, so we might be getting to the end. Oh, nope, here we go. Burner says the year is 2041, 4-star wing, point forward. Carter Elliott Jr. has narrowed down his finalists to Kentucky, Michigan State, and Michigan. His dad obviously wants him wearing green, and his godfather wants him in maize and blue. The recruiting process has been a long one. Kansas fell out of the race years ago. Burner 605 left Sleepers Media after 14 plus years at the company. So there went the chances of CJ going to Kansas. CJ is very loyal. Many people think NIL isn't playing a factor in the decision because of the multinational success of Sleepers Media. Mom and dad have money. Recruiting expert Dr. Doctor has crystal balled him to Drew Valentine's Spartans, and Guy has crystal balled him to Dusty May's Wolverines out of loyalty to Greg. CJ has other plans though, ... Here's the commitment post. CJ Elliott, 4-star wing, has chosen John Jacobs's Kentucky Wildcats. Jacobs's last stand against Greg and the Sleepers Media's crumbles due to the move.
If my son has the ability to play college basketball and plays for John Jacobs, will that be the thing that finally takes down Sleepers?
You would never do that to me because you care enough about me, even if you did it as a bit.
But it would be my best bit ever.
It would be a good bit, but you wouldn't do it. Bart replied to that and said, everyone knows Guy is crystal balling him to some no-name A10 school, by the way.
Also, why is my son a 4-star?
Guy says CJ Elliott is a Boise State Bronco. Let's cut the BS. He's going to the best conference in college basketball. Oh boy, this is a fun hypothetical world. I could spend all night here. Purdue Fox says TJD making the select team to train the Olympic team has to be considered a win for college basketball, right? Did you see the select team, Cart?
Yeah, it's a weird conglomerate of players.
That's one way to put it.
I mean, like, I thought the select team was supposed to be better players than this.
Shout out to Nigel Hayes.
That's crazy.
You're not a fan?
Like, come on now.
I'm very excited Cooper Flagg is there.
I am too, but like, if I'm not mistaken, like, wasn't the select team like Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham and like Trey Murphy and like other young guys like that. Like what happened to that?
Well, Jalen Duren and Trey Murphy are on this team. So there's no Cade. If we were trying to put a best five on the floor for this team, I think it would be Brandon Miller, Trey Murphy, Jalen Duren, Jabari Smith, and either Keegan Murray or Jalen Suggs. But like you got Amen Thompson off the bench, Pods off the bench, Peyton Pritchard, Cooper Flagg, TJD, Hawkes. It's really like the throw-ins here were Nigel Hayes and Micah Potter, which like LOL, Big Ten guys. But like honestly, huge win for the Big Ten with this list because Nigel from Wisconsin, TJD from Indiana, Keegan Murray from Iowa, Pods, Illinois, Micah Potter, two different Big Ten schools. We can kind of take this team.
And at the same time, we told Mexico to get their money up because we took one of their best players in Jaime Jaquez.
Yeah, that's nice. Guy says, just found out I'm older than Cooper Flagg. That means I'm officially older than a college basketball player. Does this make me unk?
Guy, you are not older than Cooper Flagg.
He, yeah, he could be, isn't he?
How?
There's definitely a world where like, because Coop reclassified, right?
Yeah, but isn't Guy about to be a junior in high school?
It's crazy that Cooper Flagg reclassified, by the way.
Yeah. He wants to get to the league.
My dog should have. I would have just stayed. I Maynard says the flip story is wild. Honestly, it makes sense to me. He looked unhappy all year. I'm surprised the story has not blown up. Why do you think that is? Is it a testament to people not caring about college basketball, or do people not care about grooming and PDF files like they pretend to, despite how the Drake K. beef played out? How do you feel about grooming?
As far as male grooming, I think it's something that you should keep up on. You want to keep your hair, beard, everything pretty clean shaven. As far as the grooming of people and grooming people to be partners and things like that, it's pretty nasty business.
Yeah, we are gonna have to talk about this. I think we're gonna have a conversation about it tomorrow. It's a crazy story. I'll leave my comment to that for now. It's a crazy story. Dreadhead Devroyal the King says, oh no, I skipped one. Excuse me. We only have a few left. Cart. Purdue Fox says, I'm tired of all the references to glazing because it makes me think of a glazed donut. But what about angel food cake with strawberries and a strawberry glaze? Why do we not give love to the best type of glaze?
Is that the best type of glaze?
Come on.
Yeah, that's no.
Dreadhead Devroyal King says, who were your guys' favorite interviews for the draft show? I loved it, and mine was Holtman because Scummons? What is that?
I'm not really sure.
Comons?
Come on, like come on, come on,
Scummons.
come on.
Ah.
Ah,
Is that a DePaul thing?
I don't know, but he did look great with the Chicago backdrop in that quarter zip.
Holtman was fun, and you could tell like Holtman kinda was aware of us, which was cool. Because
Yeah,
you can tell like when you get one of these people booked for something like this, there's people who are just like, who are these schmucks? And then there's people who are kind of like, oh, I'm familiar with your game. Yeah.
it was also kind of funny because I at that point I had a little lapse in judgment that like the guests were waiting in the room and hear like everything we say. So as I'm eviscerating draft picks for what they're wearing, and then Holtman comes in, so I'm about, well, thank God I came dressed a little bit better than those guys, huh? I'm like, damn it.
This is very funny. Who was your favorite interview though, Cart?
I mean, I liked it all. Caravan was great, just given the scenario, but honestly, Luke Goody was great. Like the whole like 7 a.m. practice thing, the all that was just hilarious to me.
Yeah, I have so many different answers on this. I think Goody was the best interview, and that by default made it my favorite of the night. I think Braden Smith was like my most important. Like I checked that one off and was like, I am so thankful we got to have him involved. I think Caravan was the coolest moment of the whole show, even if it wasn't the greatest interview, but it was a great interview. Just the fact that that was happening, followed by Riley literally dropping up, we're at Applebee's with UConn. Like that was so good. Last one from a personal standpoint, it was really, really cool to have Drew and Saudi together.
Yeah, that was.
I know a lot of people probably didn't care about that as much as you and I did, but for us to sit here being who we are with those two people involved, and Drew is like real life, he's a real life, very important person in my life and always has been. So it's really cool to be able to involve him as his career grows and our little role in this world grows as well. Purdue Fox says, does it bother you at all that in reality the comment section could be considered a form of therapy where the intrusive thoughts that most can't say in public end up here?
I'm okay with that being how our Discord operates, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a healthy way to get rid of intrusive thoughts.
Yeah. Are you wearing your state championship ring?
No, I'm playing with them. I'm just kind of like fiddling with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They just sit on my desk all the time, and I don't know. Sorry.
Just Frankie fiddling with them.
Sorry. Sorry. Last comment. Zuck says Kasparis is looking great in the Illini highlights. Personally, I like him handling the ball more than Boswell because of his passing ability. What are your opinions?
Yeah, I think you might not be the only one that prefers Kasparis handling the ball over Boswell.
Seems ominous.
Might be.
Interesting. Yeah, we have some rumblings on Illinois from people that can rumble to us. And we will discuss them in a larger video on Monday afternoon, like an early look at Illinois basketball. But yes, the early returns are that Kasparis sounds incredible. And my eyes back that up from the clips they've been releasing.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Also, important thing to note, Illinois basketball putting so many clips out, I think tells you how they feel about their group. And that's not a statement on anybody else, but like, I think we were getting more Purdue clips last year than we are right now. I haven't seen Michigan once, and there was a lot of FAU stuff last summer. Moneyball, we by default get Michigan State, but the team account's just showing the golf course. So I don't know. I think Illinois basketball feels pretty good about Illinois basketball right now.
I like that read by you.
Yeah. All right. Cart, let's get to the show. But first, could we please tell the people who we're sponsored by this month?
Insert your company here.
All right, let's get to the show. Biggest winners of the NBA draft. We had to wait. You and I would have loved to have done this on Thursday or Friday. And yeah, maybe we talked about this in person a little bit while we were vacationing together. But it's time on the channel. We both have 5 winners from NBA draft. I guess the whole draft, right? The 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday. But the draft is over. 5 winners. Let's see if we have the same names on our list. How many do you think we have the same of here?
I think we're going to have in total, so 5 each for winners and losers. I think we are going to have 6 that are the same.
Well, okay, but we're doing segments here.
We are doing segments, so I should probably treat it as such. I think for winners, we will have.
I have a proposal before you say a number.
Okay.
Sitting next to me, I have 5 unopened high noon vodka iced teas that were prepared to be drank during our draft show. And the draft show was so quick paced that I only drank 1 of these, Cart. I had 6 of them. I have 5 remaining. I only drank 1. I'd like to play a little game with you, Cart. That's what I'd like to propose.
Okay. What's the game?
We have our winners list. We have our losers list.
Yes.
We also have a second round picks segment. We have 3 segments today. We each brought lists of 5.
Yes.
I'd like each of these to be a round. And I want you to guess how many we will get collectively right. And I'll do the same. And if one of us gets it right, the other person has to chug a beer or a seltzer.
Okay.
Okay. So for the winner segment, you can go first on all of these. How many of these 5 do you think we will have exactly the same?
3.
I'm going to say 2.
2.
You say 3, I say 2. If both of us are wrong, nobody has to drink a beverage, okay?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Deal.
All right. So 5 biggest winners of the NBA draft. What is your first winner?
My first one is the Timberwolves. Timberwolves are a big winner for me. Obviously they get Rob Dillingham, who I think it works because they got Mike Conley in the fold. Dillingham can be like a scoring guard, and that team is so good defensively that it can cover up for what I think, Dillingham lacks. They were also able to get Terrence Shannon Jr. at number 27 as well. So I love what the T-Wolves did in this draft.
As do I. I did a big thread on Twitter after Wednesday's first round where I was like putting all our videos out of scouting reports of all these players. You can still go watch them on the channel. And I put in parentheses like how much higher or lower each of these players were taken. If you add up the Wolves' highest guys, Dillingham and TSJ were taken too late compared to our research and the big board that the 4 of us put together. So yeah, it's fun, but it's also really good value. Like I feel like that got lost and everybody's like, oh my God, Dillingham and Shannon are just fun. The aura, right? Like, Edwards. Yeah, all that's true. They're also like good basketball players that fell way further than they should have in the draft.
Right.
And I know Dillingham, like there was some buzz early he was going to go top 3. And then it just seemed like everybody kind of wrote him off for some reason. I don't really get why. I know the Kentucky guard thing is a thing, but like he's the obvious guard candidate here to be like Tyrese Maxey if there is one. And to get him and Shannon is huge. So they were on my list. The Timberwolves are officially off of both of our lists. That's 1.
Okay. Do I just keep it pushing here?
Yeah, if you give one that's not on my list, then I'll go. And we'll keep
Okay.
going.
My second winner is the country of France.
Shit. I didn't expect you to have that one, but that's on my list too.
Yeah, I mean the French won, man. Whether it's Wemby, just what he's done for that, but the fact that Wemby is what he is, I feel like there is a French privilege epidemic that is overtaking basketball. And that's not to say there aren't good French basketball players, but I think you get like a handsome bump, you get a French bump in basketball nowadays.
Yeah, look, to go from Wemby to Risache to Johnny Salon to the Paris Olympics all in like a 12-month span, it's a lot. It's a lot. I completely agree. I had France on the list. I think France would not be on the list, by the way, if it was just Risache going 1. But like the fact that Salon went 6th is insane to me. Like there are a lot of really good college basketball players that people would have expected to go at 6 over to Johnny Salon. And maybe that says something about this draft. But yeah, France has to be considered the big winner. They're on top of the basketball world right now. I did not expect you to have that card. I'm a little scared now because I only had 2 as my number. You had 3. I think we're going to at least hit 3.
Yeah, we are. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way right now. My third was the Grizzlies.
Maybe we aren't. I do not have the Memphis Grizzlies on my list.
So I had the Grizzlies because I love the Edie pick. I love the Edie pick. I love the pairing of Jaren and Edie. And sneakily, big fan of the Jalen Wells pick in the second round. Like I think he's a guy who can shoot the basketball. We had our scouting report videos on our channel. I was pretty high on him as a shooter, and I like what he can bring to Memphis.
Okay, so this is semantics, but I said Zach Edey is the winner here. I believe, like, I completely agree with you. Edey and the Grizz, great fit, all of that. Shout out to you, by the way, for calling that. We clipped it out on Friday, I believe, but you nailed this like a month ago when we were talking about like Edey's draft prospects. And look, we have loudly advocated all along. No one should overthink this. Like what a shitty draft. Even though there's this generational, productive, huge dude, maybe just take the huge dude. And I think it's good to know the NBA got there. Like even if he didn't go 9 to Memphis, I think he was going off the board quickly. And I think he was seriously considered before this too. Like had Klingon gone top 5, I think there's a world where Edey goes 7 to the Blazers. So look, this is deserved. It still might end up in a spot where people look back and be like, how did he go 9th? He's better than Tajani Salon and some of these random dudes. But to me, if we are defining the winner, it's Edey more than it is the Grizzlies because that was a big moment for Edey himself. The whole thing at Painter's house, the sport of college basketball, it was good for Edey more than it was good for the Grizzlies.
If I had Edey actually written down on my list, I would have did this because like on the T Wolves one, it was T Wolves / Dillingham.
Yeah.
So I guess that one doesn't. We'll say it's no.
It doesn't count. That's a no. Also, they asked, or they had him like in one of the introductory press conferences, and they were like, "So your coach says you like to eat a lot. You excited for Memphis food?" And Zach was literally like, "Oh yeah, I mean Italian, Mexican, like you don't get to be me without eating. I'm gonna love it here." So like, I'm really in on Zach Edey right now, man. It's awesome. Okay, and that pick, honestly.
Yeah.
The winner can't be the Grizzlies when that picture got taken. That
Yeah,
is the
that
coldest
pick was
picture
hard.
we've ever
That
seen.
pick was very, very hard.
Insane. Okay, so now I guess I'll flip and go next. Edey was on my list as I just mentioned. My next one here, John Calipari.
Did not have Cal.
John Calipari is a winner. He's a winner. And I know that sounds stupid, but like in the last 3 days, Cart, we got Cal doing the press tour again. I believe he did Pardon My Take. He's doing all these interviews and shit. He's doing the Cal thing. He's in a red quarter zip this time, but he's doing the Cal thing. And what do you know? The two guys he brought off the bench still go top 8, and he gets to show up at the draft and claim them, even though he's not coaching the team anymore. Like, where was Mark Pope on draft night? I didn't see him there, but you saw Cal, right? These are Kentucky players. So, and I get they're Cal guys, but this is a point for Cal U. And not only that, Cal's also lying. Cal went out and said like 72% of every player I've signed has made it to the league. That's not true. You can look up the numbers.
I love that though.
Yeah, he overshot it, but we're now letting Cal go viral while lying, while also showing up at the draft to claim his old program's players as his.
Yes.
It all around Cal winning the week.
I like that pick for you. That was not on my list though.
Okay, so it's coming down the wire. It's either going to be 2 or 3 then at this point. Do you have 2 left?
Yeah, I have 2 left.
Okay, I have 1 left.
Okay, so my next one, I had Dalton Connect as a winner actually.
Okay.
So you probably don't have this because many played him as a loser because how he fell. I actually love the spot that he's in. Like, there's nothing more. I think, like you see what Austin Reeves was able to do as a guy who's just like the second guy in the Lakers, like that guy in the Lakers who just there's no really pressure on him, but like he's a Lakers cult hero, and you get to play with LeBron. Like, I think that Connect will make things easier for Bron. It'll give them spacing. And also, like, Connect's not going to be the focus like he was every single night at Tennessee. I think he's really going to benefit from playing with LeBron and playing in the Lakers. And I like the landing spot for him.
I don't hate it. This is the first one I would say I like disagree with, but I the only reason I would consider him like a winner is because he gets to go by Connect 4 now, and that Connect 4 Lakers jersey is gonna sell. That's gonna do insane numbers in Panama City Beach this year. I think yeah, I don't know. Here's my only spin. Are we sure that Dalton Connect, like, can Dalton Connect do the Connect thing if he's not asked to do all that? Like, are we sure Connect standing in the corner is better than like Connect being asked to be Connect?
I think Connect and Bron taking turns might feed families.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's as good as Austin Reeves either. So it's kind of just like,
Are we sure?
we're not sure. We're
Okay.
not sure. It's a fun fit. Yeah, if he fell in the draft, though, that's hard to call him a winner. Okay, we have 1 left. Your last answer being what it is makes me think it's not going to be the same. So just to be clear, if it's not the same, you have to chug a seltzer. And if it is the same, I have to chug a seltzer
I don't have a seltzer.
or a beer.
I don't even know if I have a beer.
Then why'd you agree to do this game? Go walk to that fridge and just see if there's anything in there for me.
So I think I do, but I don't know if I have a bottle opener down. I would have to go get a bottle opener.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me go check the fridge.
I'll just give it a quick check of the fridge. Do you want me to give my team while you go look for the fridge?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. My last winner of NBA draft night is not a team. I'm just trying to play a little misleading game for you and see if I can read your body language as you check the fridge to see that there are beers in there, and you are now pretending on camera there aren't. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Good work. For our listeners at home that aren't watching this, Cart just pulled out 3 different types of seltzer and beer. All right, Cart. My fifth winner is none other than LeBron James.
Not who I had.
That's not who Carter had, so Carter's going to have to chug something here. Yeah, I'll monologue about this for a second. I don't know how you write the story of the 2024 NBA draft without saying, like, this was the James family draft. We had day 2, Rich Paul and Clutch putting out that Bronny won't come and play basketball in America, even if a different team drafts him than the Lakers or the Suns. They pulled the power move. They pulled the mobster, the mafia move, and it worked. And it's a testament to LeBron James's greatness. It's also a testament to how weak this draft class is, because I do believe this is a massive farce, and I don't like it. I don't think Bronny should be in the league. And I can simultaneously think that it's cool that LeBron gets to do this, while also acknowledge that it's making a mockery of people that should be professional basketball players. So
And a massive win for nepotism.
yeah, the James family wins, but it's LeBron. This was LeBron's mastermind plan. It took him 20 years to do, and he executed.
I should have had this.
You should have had that for sure.
I should have
What's your
had that.
fifth?
My fifth was the Blazers.
The Klingon pick.
Yeah, I think they got a guy who was supposedly going to go number one, or there was rumors about going number one. So it was between the Blazers and the Bulls for me. I lean the Blazers because I actually like the Klingon fit. I'm not the biggest DeAndre Ayton guy, and I think I like what Klingon can do. I like the Blazers' young guards. I like Sharp. I like Anthony Simons. So I think Scoot Henderson's actually going to be good. So yeah, I like the team.
Yeah, okay. Good pick. The Blazers may come up again later this show. Would you like to end this segment by chugging whatever you're chugging? What are you will you tell the people at home what you're chugging as the loser of this game?
Corona Premier.
Did you anticipate needing to drink more alcohol on a show with me after the way our weekend went?
No, I didn't. I'm sick about it.
I love you. Are you pouring that in a Legends champagne plastic cup?
Of course I am.
Would you like to say a few words before you chug this?
This is there's not a certain way for people to feel how I actually feel on here. But just give y'all a little insight. Um, I'm not looking forward to this. But good on you for winning this. In another world, should I play the card that we both said Grizzlies?
No,
And
I don't think that would be a fair card. Integrity matters on the sleepers.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers. I hope you win one of the next 2 so that I have to drink one myself.
That's pretty painful.
Is that gone? Can I get a flip? That looks about 20% drank. Yeah. You're in hell if this is taking you this much time. I've never seen that out of you. You seemed good this morning.
It's very cold.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah.
Brain freeze.
Shout out to your fridge. Okay, let's get to topic number 2. Now let's do some losers. Little shocked that we went positive before going negative. That's not really our brand, but here we are. We'll run this the same way we did last time. Same thing on the table cart. One of us has to chug a beer or seltzer of the other person's choosing. If the other person guesses how many out of these 5 answers we both have the same on our sheet of 5 losers from the NBA draft. Do you want to pick the number first, or do you want me to go first on this one?
I'll go first.
Okay. What's the
Um,
number?
the number first. Sorry. Uh, 3. We're at 3 the same.
Let's see how well I know you here, Cart. I think we will have 1 the same.
Okay.
Do you want to change your answer from 3 now that I said 1? I feel like you should have the option to do so.
Yeah, I want to change it to. No, I want to keep it at 3.
Staying at 3, and I'm staying at 1. Okay.
I'm staying at 3.
Okay, losers from the NBA draft. Go ahead. Who's your first loser?
My first one is the Bucks.
Not on my list. Why are the Bucks a loser?
They took a guy who scored 2 points a game last year in Australia at number 19.
It's not good. Is that your least favorite pick of this round
Yeah.
or the whole
No,
draft?
maybe not my least favorite of the whole draft or anything like that. But like, and I actually like AJ Johnson. Like, it's just, it's not taking him at 19 is crazy. You could have got him any other time. And I hate NBA franchises that don't like, what are we doing here? Like, you have Giannis. Like, let's capitalize on Giannis. Why are we drafting guys who average 2 points?
It's also not as crazy as dropping I like AJ Johnson in the middle of that monologue about why that pick alone was the biggest loser of the NBA draft. That was a wild spin from you. Yeah, bad pick. I think bad player. I think all around gross from the Bucks. I would like to propose if you don't have the first name here that I say, can you just give me a quick head shake so that I can give my first and my second names back to back?
Yes.
Okay. So my biggest loser of the NBA draft is Kyle Filipowski. My second biggest loser of the NBA draft is Kyle Filipowski's family. This is insane. This whole thing is insane. And we are going to talk about it separate, so I don't need to give my full spiel on this right now. But like the concept of his abandoned family going public on draft night and now like taking it so far as to like blame John Shire is real strange to me. I feel bad for everyone involved. Obviously, there are some very real victims here, some very real, like preyed upon victims here, and I don't want that to be lost in this. But I think Flip looks horrible in the light right now. He fell in the draft. That's a real result of his actions. Consequences. Here you go. Also, like his family is not really looking great in the light right now. They're not accomplishing what they're trying to accomplish, and the fact that this has become such a big story in the middle of the NBA draft weekend is just massive fumbling by all parties involved.
I feel like you're cheating the system a little bit because we talked about this being a segment. So like you putting it on the list is like, okay, all right. Do I go next?
They're the two biggest losers. Like they are the two biggest losers.
And you use 2 slots for this.
That's because there's two of them. Kyle
Okay.
Filipowski is very different from Kyle Filipowski's family car. We gotta
Okay. All right.
separate this right
Are
now.
they? All right. My next one was the Pistons.
Okay.
We need shooting. We took a guy who shot 27% from three last season at 5.
Pistons are not on my list.
We
They
took
were the
Ron
first
Howard.
cut. They were the first cut. I had them 6. They were the first cut.
I
It
mean,
might be fandom. It might be fandom that cut it.
oh, Greg.
I'm sorry. Here's where I landed on it, and we can spend more time on it later this week if needed. I hate the Holland pick. I hate the way Trajan Langdon's acting. I hate everything about this damn organization right now. With that said, taking a shot on Ron Holland in this draft is not the crime that we are accusing them of doing. Like I don't really care about the rest of the shit and talking about fit. Do I wish we drafted someone fun that played in college that can shoot? Like, yes. Ron Holland's upside is higher than most people we would have taken if it wasn't Ron Holland. So, like, I would have preferred Booz Ellis, but if there is even a small world where Ron Holland becomes an NBA star, this pick was okay, and you figure it out later.
Okay. All right. I wish we would have talked about this.
You're right. Is everything okay, by the way? That seemed like an extended look to the right there.
Yeah, I think everything's okay.
Anything going on to your right?
I thought I saw a spider like coming down from my ceiling.
Okay. Who's your third biggest loser? Right now we have 0. We are 0 for 4 out of 10 here, and we need to get to 3 for you to win. There's only 3 left.
Yeah. The Hawks.
The Hawks are on my list.
Yeah, they took Ricochet number 1.
Yeah, if you end up with Zachary Sachet after having the first pick in the draft, you done fumbled.
Yeah, easy.
That's
Like
all it
that,
is.
they're easy. They're top of the list, top of the food chain.
Okay, so if one of the final two is not the same as mine, you're gonna have to drink another beer.
I had the Spurs.
Spurs are not on my list, but why? Why do you have the Spurs?
Because I like the Stephon Castle pick. I hate that they traded out for that second pick.
I hated that move too, and I'm glad you're spotlighting it because I feel like everyone's just letting that go.
Like, just take like
Yeah.
why they trade out?
Yeah, it's hard for me to call them a loser when they got Castle. Like he was the number one player on my big board.
I know, but they could have been like the overall, just like they did it again, winners, and just get Castle and then pick someone else at 8.
Yeah, I mean they got Castle at 4, man. Like that's gotta be a win. I'll just fight you
Okay.
on that a little bit. But yeah, I wish they would have not traded 8. You're right. But also this draft stinks, so maybe they were smart to trade 8. I don't know. Okay. My next one is Deandre Ayton.
I did not have that.
Yeah, I know you didn't, and nobody seems to have. So like, can I just go on an island for a moment with something that people are gonna like really attack me for? NBA people that see this are gonna be like, "You casual, you idiot." I think DeAndre Ayton's good. I think he's good. Like that's a good player. I don't think he's great. I don't think you can like build a championship team around him. But I think we're kind of, dare I say, Cart, I think we're kind of doing the Porzingis thing with him right now. Like I think we're doing that. I think we got this big man who's like an extremely gifted offensive player that like went super high in his draft class for a reason, and it hasn't worked out in a couple situations so far, and everybody wants to just write him off as a losing player and a toxic guy that you can't win with. Instead of like what happens if he's the third best player on a championship team instead. And everybody loves, like you had the Blazers as a winner. I think Donovan Clingan's really good. He's totally redundant to DeAndre Ayton. And this feels completely like, are we sure Donovan Clingan's better than DeAndre Ayton? He's not ever going to do the offensive stuff that Ayton did. And if they're running Ayton out of town for Clingan, I like that. Fine, but you didn't upgrade. Like you wrote off a good NBA center who's still like 24.
Yeah,
So I think Aiton's gonna go somewhere and be good if he ends up out of Portland. And but that makes him a loser in this draft because everybody is just saying how great Klingon and the Blazers are when like Aiton's sitting right there. Like, what the hell?
I mean, yeah, that makes. I'm just sick.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. You have one more chance at this though. If your last one lands, then you're saved and nobody drinks.
My last one was Chaos was a loser.
Chaos was a loser.
Chaos. We got no trades, nothing like massive, no like moving of Paul George, no like Kevin Durant getting moved. Nothing of that nature occurred on draft day, draft night.
Okay. I'm willing to negotiate this with you at the end if you want. Chaos is not my loser. And what I was going for with this answer was not the chaos element, but it could apply. My fifth loser of the 2024 NBA draft is the NBA.
Yeah, I think that's kind of related.
I think we're in a really weak spot for the NBA right now, and I didn't fully process it until we got to the draft. Like now that we're through this, let's just define the storylines from the last couple of months. The Boston Celtics weren't even tested by anybody. A team that couldn't win the East the last 4 years wasn't even sniffed by anybody on the way to a chance. Like there's no competition right now with a team that was good. Don't think they're like an all-time great team, but they were good. Like we let Al Horford and Drew Holiday run around and like nobody can touch them. Okay, that's what's going on right now from the competition level of the league. The superstars that should be taking over the league for LeBron might not like basketball. That's going on right now. Like go through Jokic, who wants to be with his horses, Luka, who I think hates that he has to be in shape. Giannis misses Chick-fil-A and his brothers. Like all this shit is just there's no one to hand the league to right now. It's not working. Then you go to the draft and everybody says this is the weakest draft class ever. Zachary Sachet just went first overall. Let's just keep saying that out loud. That's insane. The fact that this whole draft became the Bronny James draft, that's what this is right now. We're just doing the full-blown, like, lifetime achievement here, LeBron, do whatever you want thing. And meanwhile, LeBron can't even win a playoff series anymore. So this is the most down bad I have seen the NBA since I've been alive, and it was loud to me on NBA draft night.
I think mine and yours are kind of the same.
I think what you went for with chaos is completely different than that. I do.
Sure.
But I can sense and feel it in your bones that you don't want to drink that second one.
I don't. Not even a little bit.
All right. So is it just a firm decision up to me?
But also I lost. And we're a podcast of character and integrity. And I will carry that legacy on.
I want to make it known that I was going to let you off the hook, and I am willing to let you off the hook. This is a moment in time. This will be documented. You have a choice to get off the hook. We could be a pro off the hook podcast card. Cart's chugging the beer.
You let me off the hook now. You give me an inch, I'm gonna take at least another foot.
We're gonna take it all. Oh, Cartel. Is it gone?
Mm-hmm.
Proud of you, my friend. It's good. Our third and final topic tonight, once again, 2 lists of 5 we had to bring. Carter, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my list.
Okay. How's the confidence level coming into this last list?
Low.
Okay, understood. This is our second round picks that we believe you should keep an eye on long term and could end up having really successful careers in the league. So we can define exactly what that looks like. We're probably not talking MVP level Nikola Jokic, but we are talking like this guy could be a starter on a championship level team one day type stuff. We both picked 5 out of the 30 picks in the second round, and our game is going to continue. Carter has now lost back-to-back segments. There's a beer or a seltzer on the line. Cart, once again, I offer you up the opportunity. Do you want to pick your number first of how many we will match on our list, or do you want me to?
I would like you to pick the number first.
Seems the card has adapted well on the fly here. I think we will have 3.
3.
That's the mental gymnastics in me right there too. Play the middleman. Take higher or lower, Cart. Go ahead. Actually, you know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that straight up. You don't even need to land it at 4 or 2 or 5 or 1 or 0. You can take higher or lower than 3. And
Lower.
if you get it right, I'll drink.
Lower.
You're taking lower, I'm taking 3. Okay. All right, here we go. Beer is on the line. Would you like to read your first name of second round picks that we should keep an eye on?
Yeah, I had Johnny Furphy first.
I did not have Johnny Furphy. Bad start for me.
Johnny Furphy picked number 35 to the Pacers. I love what Furphy did the second half of the year. He's playing, I think he plays the best too when he, at least at this point in his career, when someone's creating something for him. Like, I think Tyrese Halliburton's just going to spam pass to him all the time. And all he has to do is run the floor, dunk, make threes. He can do that very well.
I agree with you there. The only reason he's not on my list is I almost had him as a loser in general from the draft, because kind of feels like Furphy maybe should have gone back to Kansas. Like if Furphy is who people think he is, he probably should have been closer to a lottery pick than taking wherever he was, 35th. I agree. He was impressive in the second half. I don't love the team fit for Furphy, honestly. Like I don't see him just like immediately making an impact on that team, and he does kind of feel like a guy who could get swept aside and forgotten about. So I don't know. I believe in his talent, but maybe one I should have had on the list. I did think about him. Okay, that leads me to my first one, and I gotta pick somebody I think you'll have. I went Tristan Newton on the Pacers.
I did not have Tristan Newton.
Whoa, really?
Mm-mm.
That's crazy. I got to teach you about like PR principles.
My apologies.
With the one guy we had on the draft show that gets drafted, we can't put him on a guy to keep an eye on list. In all seriousness, I've been gassing him up all draft season, which is why he was open to coming on the show. But I was doing this long before we had any sort of communication with him. I think he's a winner. I think the dude can literally contribute in so many different ways. I view him having a Drew Holiday-like career arc. I don't know if he'll ever be that good. I don't know that he'll ever be all defense or anything like that. But I think like he could very well be starting next to Tyrese Halliburton in a couple of years and making Halliburton's life a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, I do like. I just don't know about the, the Pacers and guard like McConnell's there already. Like
Right?
the
That's a
log
great
jam.
example. To have Tristan Newton literally take McConnell's role and be a way more talented version of TJ McConnell.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I like it. Not on my list though.
Okay. All right. So I got to nail the final three here. I still feel like I have a chance.
So I actually had Filipowski to the Jazz.
We might get zero on this one. I'm just going to chug a beer now because it's tough. I did not have Flip.
I mean, they got a guy who was supposed to go day one in the second round. I think that they're like I think things went a little bit too far on Flip and like who he is as a player. Like this was a guy who was scoring like 18 points a game, rebounding at a high level, has a skill set that I think can translate at least offensively to the league. So I like the Jazz getting him at that point in the draft in the second round.
Things flipped on flipped a little too much for your liking.
Yeah, yeah. Flipped
Yeah.
on flip just a bit too much.
Yeah. I pretty vehemently disagree here, and it has nothing to do with Flip's current rumored family situation. I think Flip just screams good college big to me. I like nothing about his game screams like project at the NBA level. So, um, yeah, I'm not stunned he fell, even if the rumored of how he interviewed with teams and family stuff wasn't true. I think his game warrants like slipping a little bit here if NBA teams are smart. Um, really surprised he's on your list, honestly. If we don't get a couple of these, I'm going to be pretty confused. I guess I'll go to the next one I think is obvious, unless you're just holding a grudge. I think Cam Christie to the Clippers was great value. And a guy who probably should have came back to college given where he got drafted, but like we've been talking about how he could immediately have an impact. And man, if Paul George really does go elsewhere quickly here, aren't there some wing minutes available for Cam Christie?
Yeah, there most certainly are. He's not on my list.
Was that just like your grudge against the Christie family, or
Yes,
thought you might have matured and maybe put that aside a little bit?
I have not.
Are we
No.
going to acknowledge how they both get to be in Los Angeles together?
Yeah, it's cute.
Is that good or bad for their careers?
It's great.
Bunk beds together again?
Bunk beds are back.
Like ride in the back seat. Dad drives him to work every day.
Drop me off first. No, drop me off first. No,
Dude,
drop me off first.
honestly, the creative potential for your Christie family jokes got a huge rejuvenation with this. It's kind of nice.
Mm, it for surely did.
Yeah. Okay. Who are your final two?
I'm confused by who you picked.
I've been saying mine along the way here. I said
I
Tristan Newton,
know.
Cam Christie,
Okay.
and oh, I haven't said the others.
Uh,
Do I need to
I
say
had
more?
I had Kevin McCullough to the Suns.
I don't have Kevin McCullough.
I think they got great value at 56, and they got a guy who's old and can play for that team right now, right away, and that's what they need for that team for the Suns.
Yeah, it's definitely what the Suns need is another guy who thinks he's better than he is and is a toxic locker room dude.
Is it?
Great
He's
fit.
not a toxic locker room guy.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he isn't.
That's pretty well documented at this point. I've never seen Bill Self go public on a guy like that.
Nah.
I mean, Kevin McCullough might be great until they get down 2-0 in the first round, and Devin Booker's like, "Yo, are you available?" And Kevin's like, "Nah, my tummy aches." Like,
It aches. It aches.
that's tough. I have Oso Iguodala to the Knicks.
I did not have Oso.
I think that Oso could be really, really good. if
Oh yeah,
asked to like just do little things. You know what I mean?
I love Oso.
Yeah, like he to me, all he needs to do is like catch floater, catch dunk, just play off of everything else that's going on. This is one of my favorite actual picks in the draft itself. Because I think, oh wait, no, excuse me. This belongs to the Suns.
Oso's on the Suns.
He's on the Suns, not the Knicks. As I was reading that, that felt wrong. I knew that I just wrote that down wrong. But everything you said about Suns to me is how I view for Oso. Like he's playing around all the creators. He just needs to do all the little stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah.
love Oso. I think he'd be great.
Yeah. I like that spot for sure. All right. What else you got?
I had Harrison Ingram to the Spurs.
Yeah, we got 0 total. That's your final name, right?
No, I had one more.
You've done 5,
Did I? No, I
I
didn't.
think. But
I
what?
did Furphy, Flip, McCullough, Ingram, and then my
Okay.
last one is Jamal Shed.
Okay, yeah, we got 0 out of 10 here. Congrats, good work. I'm pretty upset with you. You didn't have any of my names on here. I'm stunned by that, honestly. You picked all the dudes we didn't like in college.
What do you mean?
We like Jamal Shed, but like I've never heard you like say you're a fan of any of these guys' games.
I don't think you're listening.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah. Riley was really excited about Harrison Ingram. We got to teach Riley what aura means, though. You saw his tweet, right?
I did, yes.
I figure we could have like an in-person conversation with him this week.
Yeah, well, it's gonna have to be. I do want to do it behind closed doors because I think maybe some things will be said that I think need to be a little bit more controlled. Like it
Yeah.
might hurt initially,
Yeah.
but it's something that has to be said.
Yeah, there's going to be some feelings getting hurt when we have to explain like lumping Harrison in with Stephon Castle in the aura tweet is like not okay
That's unacceptable,
for a
honestly.
bazillion reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, for a very, very long list of reasons.
All right, my final 2 that you did not have, I landed on 2 white boys with some shit to them. Pell Larson in Miami. I'd like to repeat Pell Larson in Miami. If I were making a list of my 5 favorite guys I could wish upon Miami, Pell would be there. The IG captions that we're gonna get from Pell and Tyler Hero together are going to be sensational. Also, like, let's just be completely real. The Heat have had a ton of success with all of their role player types, many of them being white wings. Like we saw Max Strus be good. We saw Duncan Robinson be good. Pell Larson is like more athletic than those dudes. I think he can shoot at an NBA level. I think he can fly around. He can defend. I think everybody on the Heat's going to love him, and I think he's going to be playing in a playoff series sooner rather than later.
I like that pick by you.
And the last one, begrudgingly, Cam Spencer on the Grizzlies. I just kind of picture like, the whole like grit and grind bullshit, but like I picture Cam Spencer and Des Bane on the court together, and both these dudes are just shooting like 48% from 3. And then meanwhile, like Ja Morant and Zach Edey are running pick and roll. Like how is anyone supposed to guard that if there's dead eye shooters around them? We know Cam Spencer can do that. Like he's the most proven shooter in the draft, even over the guys higher in the first round. So I think it's a great landing spot.
It's that he's gonna be a cult hero quickly for the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Very.
Also, doing this exercise makes me so jealous.
Yeah, I don't like doing it.
Like I gotta convince myself that like the shot doctor could save things. Meanwhile, like there's a real fan base out there that's biggest issue right now is Zach Edey might not even be good. Like
There's a team that just went to the Western Conference Finals. They went to the Western Conference Finals, Greg, and they came out of this draft with Terrence Shannon Jr. and Rob Dillingham.
yeah, it's crazy, man. Why can everybody else have nice things?
But hey, Bobby Clinton, am I right?
To end this segment, can we acknowledge how much better my chug was than your two?
It was very, very, very way more impressive.
I appreciate that. One big thing, of course, presented by nobody. What do you got, Cart?
My one big thing is I would like to make a motion for the rest of 2024 that we commit to just keeping things simple at all times. Uh, just grab an Uber if you want to go somewhere. Okay, I don't want to go through the hoops. I don't want to rent scooters. I don't want to go on a boat. I don't want to do anything. I just want to get an Uber that's big enough for the party, take me to where I want to go, and take me back.
So that seems pretty pointed in response to our trip to Baltimore. Do you want to elaborate at all for people that weren't in Baltimore with us?
You know what? I'm a big fella. I don't do well in heat, and I was at the hottest spot in the city of Baltimore, waiting for a captain to come pick me up on a water taxi when I could have just called a real taxi.
I mean, on the boat was fun though.
I didn't have that much fun on the boat, to be honest with
Okay.
you.
Wait, also the captain. I had some issues with the captain. We don't need to relive it, but the captain was killing me. My one big thing, hmm. I was gonna do the sun, but I feel like you just kind of usurped me on the sun there
Wait,
with your thing about the
sorry. Can I change mine?
yeah.
My one big thing is that I think touch tunes might be losing their fastball.
Talk to me on that.
It's way too readily available. Like not I understand that the point of it is that you should be able to play whatever song you want, but I don't think that everyone should get the chance to buy tokens and skip songs that I have or play some trash before me when I've earned my keep on touch tunes.
Can I give you the proposed fix to touch tunes?
Please.
This is actually a really good proposed fix. Uh, it's not a set number of what you pay to get your song to skip the line. Every time a song is running, it's an auction, and everybody can bid on having the next song be played. Imagine sitting at your little table, you and I, and you got whatever, name a song. What would you queue up right now?
I just want to die by Logic.
Okay, so I'm gassed up with you to hear the Suicide song, and this is a horrible example. He's ruined everything. The point is, like, in a real setting where you want like some dirt.
Churchill Downs
Yeah, like
by
we're sitting there, we
Greg.
would die for Churchill Downs. We just ordered 13 tequila shots and expensed them on the sleepers card, and I gave a speech. All of that happened, and meanwhile, I look at you, Cart, and I'm like, oh wait, has the auction started? And you're like, let me check. It's in 30 seconds. Let's lock in. And now we are bidding against everybody else in the bar for a 20-second window for us to put the most money down to have Churchill Downs played next.
Yeah, that's fire.
That's heat.
We might have to like actually make this happen.
Yeah, should we? We could put touch tunes out of business.
What will we call it?
Hmm. Nah, we gotta talk offline. It's the auction.
No, all right, relax. Offline,
I don't have a one big thing. My brain's in shambles right now. We'll be back
offline,
tomorrow.
offline.